Hey, welcome to your weekly bonus corner Späti. It is me, Ciarán. I am joined by Nick.
Yo.
Yo.
You already know that we're back because you heard the main episode.
It'd be so wild if you didn't. How did that happen?
I don't know. Maybe you only like the bonus feed.
Sometimes I just like trying out Patreon bonus feeds for podcasts without ever listening to any of the other episodes.
What are these freaks up to? Corner Späti?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god. It's been a while, and I'm meant to talk about this in the main episode. Developments may have occurred since we recorded this. We were recording this on Friday the 5th of December. But shit may have happened since then. But fuck it. I gotta talk Eurovision. I cannot be stopped. It has to happen. I'm sorry, Nick.
Don't apologize to me. I love it.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, so on Thursday the 4th of December, yesterday, the EBU General Assembly happened, and that had been planned for a while, and everyone knew it was going to be a bit of a shit show because earlier in the year, 4 countries said that they would withdraw from Eurovision if Israel was allowed to continue. So the EBU, to try and save face, brings in says they're going to do a vote on Israel's inclusion. Then they scrap that vote and say, we're pushing back the General Assembly to yesterday, to 4th of December. And we are going to have a vote on a bunch of new changes to the rules that we think will make people happy. And in a classic kind of like European Broadcasting Union kind of way, the changes of the rules were, they were sensible. I frankly don't care what they are anymore, but they were sensible. And it did that classic thing of like, hey, we're changing the rules. Is like, hey, why are you changing the rules? Don't bring that up. Don't. Is there a particular country that's been breaking the rules? Yes. Do you want us to name it?
No. Why would we do that? Every country is responsible if you think about it.
Yeah, actually, this is a big global family.
Yeah. Un familia mundial.
Yeah. For anyone who missed it, Israel for the last 2 years has been cooking the televote through a myriad of things, probably the most provable of which is the constant YouTube ads and like other advertisements elsewhere in multiple languages asking people to vote 20 times for their song, right? And people are like, yeah, that's probably not okay. People also pointed out those ads were paid for by Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is definitely not okay. It's happened before that there's like YouTube ads being like, vote for me, but it's like usually by the artist's record label.
Yeah.
It's not by
my record label is the IDF.
Yeah, dog, check out my record label.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a problem, and people calculated how much it would cost to like completely cook the Eurovision and win, and it's like it's the cost of a house, basically. Like, definitely within the ballpark a government is probably willing to spend if you care. So yeah, so that's the context there. People have pointed out, mentioned on the show before, that Israel has been politicizing the competition. They keep sending these like cry bully songs about like how, great we are, etc. Isn't it sad that October whatever happened? Like, I don't give a shit anymore, man. Fuck off. I got a little too real there, didn't I? That broke Nick.
Go on.
Yeah. So fuck. Anyway, they do their little songs and whatever, and everyone was getting angry, and everyone pointed out that like the national broadcaster has been overly political. They kept like They kept platforming that rap song that called for Dua Lipa and Bella Hadid to be killed, whatever. And like they've definitely not been impartial about this conflict, and that's breaking all the like EBU rules. Never mind Eurovision rules. And then like, you know, then the Netherlands is out for blood because basically they get Joost Klein kicked off, like not officially, but everyone knows that's actually the case. That, you know, the Israeli Eurovision delegation was harassing people backstage, which eventually resulted in Joost Klein kind of like kicking off with someone because he expressly asked to never be filmed after performing his song, and that got him banned, and everyone was pissed off because, like, hang on, the Israeli delegation has been harassing everyone, they should be banned. Anyway, a lot of favored treatment for Israel. It was a mess. So they're like, okay, we need to make new rules because people are getting annoyed. So the EBU does this thing where like, hey, we're going to have the General Assembly 4th of December. Let's vote on these new rules. First thing happens in the morning is Finland releases a wet fart of a statement. We can ignore it now. Doesn't matter anymore. But Spain kind of comes in with the backing of a handful of other countries because there are more countries at the EBU General Assembly than there are at Eurovision. Like, so for example, Turkey hasn't been involved in Eurovision for a long time, but they still get an EBU vote. So Spain comes along with this thing being like, hey, we also want to vote on whether Israel should be allowed to participate, right? Because like Spain basically came in and called them out, being like, we know why we're voting for this. Like reforms, sure, grand, but we also have to punish the people who were like cause these reforms to happen. And their proposal is backed by Netherlands. The three names I heard were Netherlands, Turkey, and Montenegro. Montenegro is an interesting one. I'll bring it up later. So, the EBU does it, right? They're like, okay, we'll have two votes today. First the reforms, and then this will kick Israel out. Now, the rat fuckery they did is, without really mentioning it until it was too late, basically said that if the first vote passed, we don't have to do the second vote. And that's what happened. The first vote passed because the reforms were positive. And
yeah, the reform was just all like, more peace and love around Europe. Yeah, guys.
Yeah, that like, I don't want to be too down in it. There is actually some practical stuff in there. Like, and genuinely, I would have been the person who's like, both votes should have passed.
Yeah.
Kick Israel out, but those reforms are good. And it was like limiting, like, people don't need to vote 20 times, their phones, stuff like that. And rules about advertising and things like that. Anyway, but basically they forego the second vote, and the kick Israel vote was going to be a secret ballot, which people were actually like very positive about, because there's this kind of rumor in Eurovision circles that most broadcasters do want Israel out, but they don't want to be seen publicly kicking them out. So as long as the vote came back of like, oh, two countries are in favor, Germany
and Azerbaijan.
yeah, or just like every country gets to claim that they were the secret second ballot or whatever. But it was like, if for when Springer Media decides to fucking kill you. So that vote was scuppered. It didn't happen. There was no secret ballot vote on whether kicking Israel out. This is already something that's getting lost in a lot of like news coverage of it. There was no actual vote to kick Israel out. There was meant to be one, but the EBU got rid of it and said like it just basically didn't happen. So the vote never actually came to pass. So immediately within half an hour, in order, Netherlands pulled out of the competition. Then it was Spain. Then it was Ireland. Then it was Slovenia. These were the four countries that said they would. Belgium, Portugal, and Iceland went into like consultation. Portugal has now said they're going to take part. Talk about that later. Belgium has two broadcasters. The Flemish broadcaster was like, we don't want to take part, and we encourage our French counterparts to not take part as well, because they're in charge of next year, because they alternate. The French broadcaster has now said, we're taking part. So I don't think that's going to be tenable, but let's see. Iceland is expected to make some sort of announcement next week. From what I've seen from like Eurovision heads and people from Iceland and stuff, they think Iceland's probably going to dip as well. It's worth pointing out that like the real reason like Netherlands is like taking part in this boycott is probably less to do with like Gaza, unfortunately, and more that they feel like they were personally rat fucked by Israel. And I think a lot of people in Iceland also feel that way as well, because there was all that suspicious stuff that happened with their national final to stop the Palestinian performer from winning in like 2024. So yeah, all of that. So that's kind of where we're at the moment, other than like the EBU officials and the Austrian broadcaster officials as well, because Austria's going to host it next, are all talking like, it's fine, my t-shirt says it's fine, why won't you believe my t-shirt? And it genuinely is a crisis, though. One of the funny quotes is the head of URF or whatever, URF, the Austrian broadcaster, is like, don't worry about the budget shortfall, we have the money and like to like make up for it. And because that's a big part of it here, they're now out a ton of money, which I'll talk about. But like, I post this being like, God, this is dripping with dramatic irony. You know, like I feel like, you know, the whole like, oh, it's going to be fine, don't worry about it, dripping with dramatic irony. Friend of the show, Casper Shalar, kind of points out like, didn't that broadcaster just fire a bunch of people because of money problems? I'm like, I'm like, well, yeah, think of all the money they saved for this.
Yeah. Austria really wants to give money to make sure Israel stays in the competition. I mean, and it is their fault if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like if you go back far enough, it is Austria's fault that we're in this predicament.
If you go back, one Austrian
guy, you know. Unfortunately, I gotta, you know, like I can't feel, you know, I understand Austria's position on this. They're at least like doing the responsible thing of, you know, sorry, we created the state of Israel, therefore we have to let them stay.
Yeah, it should also be mentioned that like late last month in November, the head of the national broadcaster of Austria did fly to Tel Aviv and was personally hosted by Herzog. And then also like 11 p.m. last night, after all this fucking drama, Israeli media just reports that hey, yeah, this was like a months-long charm offensive by Herzog and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, talking to a bunch of like national broadcasters to get them on side for this vote. And I'm like, fuck. Just out and out corruption. And I gotta think the contest is over. Like I don't think they can recover from this.
Yeah. I mean, it's also the thing too that then what I'm curious of is just like the fallout that then, okay, you have like these two of them quite major nations that are participants of not even just Eurovision that then provide most of the money to it. Like there's like what the Security Council.
Spain is one of them.
Spain is one of them, which means that they're the ones that then funnel out most of the money to make sure that Eurovision happens.
They're the fifth biggest financial contributor.
Yeah. And so the thing that
Netherlands is the sixth.
Yeah. And so the thing that then will be very interesting too is that then I don't think that like, I mean, you've said that then Iceland is like kind of like, you know, considering it this and that and that. I don't think that this is just gonna be like a one and done, like, okay, these countries dip out and then everything will be fine. Because then when Eurovision season is right around the corner, and when I think as well too, the more that then Israel tries to, because they're gonna do all the same shit. You know, they're gonna break the rules a million times over. They're gonna, you know, have a song called like
October, whatever.
October, fucking October's very own. And then Fucking get like, I don't know, some, fucking hip shaking IDF soldier to sing about, I don't know, some shit, why Gaza's destruction is good. And then they're gonna like do the last minute changing the lyrics again, and then they're gonna do all the same, and they're gonna do the televote hijack thing again, because Israel never ever 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 learns a lesson, because they never need to.
They're never punished.
No, never. I mean, that's what happens when you're a U.S. vassal state and you're just dealing with Europe, right? Like, because if it's. But I think that then it's like the more than that leads up to it, the more that then that there's gonna be like this, more of that drama is gonna obviously ensue. Like, I don't think that this is the just like, okay, one and done, these countries left, because Israel's gonna do the most psychotic victory lap.
Yeah, so I 100% agree. I think like when this starts to become more real, like I'm kind of hoping that more countries will drop out, but I'm fully expecting
they're gonna send a DJ set from the dude who like killed that girl or something, like the one that like shot the car like 5,000 times or whatever.
So we're going to be approaching a deadline soon, which is like if you drop out after this deadline, you're still on the hook for the money towards Eurovision, right? So like these 4 countries that we talked about already did get out before they have to put any money down. So that is like a huge financial black hole for like the Eurovision itself. Then on top of that, but like countries have pulled out even when they gave the money anyway, so that is possible, and there is still more time for more countries to pull out. I hope that does happen. Even if it doesn't, though, there's so many like issues. Like I think this is going to anger a whole bunch of countries, Ireland included. We're having problems getting talent because like no one wanted to do this because of Israel.
Oh yeah. We're gonna get like Eurovision's dopey every year. Like I'm not saying it's like the pinnacle of artistry, but yeah, we're gonna get trash, more trash than like the previous years. The last I'd say 2 or 3 years of Eurovision would have actually been good in terms of the quality of songs with them that we've been getting. There definitely has been. I mean, if you compare like Eurovision now to Eurovision 10 years ago, like it is getting more, I don't want to say serious because it never was a serious song competition, but it's like you're seeing
professionalized.
Yeah, exactly. More like professionalized. You're seeing like I'm just like thinking of like the hilarious entries of like the last year, like of like maybe 10, 15 years ago that you've shown me, of like Belarusian guy naked talking to a wolf or whatever,
Yeah, that's actually fairly recent.
No, I mean like that's like what, 2018 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is, like, even then, like it's like you had more of like the stupid Europe, like the generic Europeans. Now it's just like, oh, we have like a like the things of like Malta's entry of like a song, about cunt or whatever. Like that's fun. That's a significant step up from
Yeah, you're getting more songs that are like this could have been a song outside of Eurovision.
Yeah.
And like we've seen that with the fact that like the Italian band is successful after their win. Your favorite artist from Greece,
love her, Marina Santi. She fucking rips. She's like legitimately a talented musician though. Like
I know, but like that kind of like getting positively reviewed by Pitchfork and Anthony Fantano, that kind of stuff never happened with Eurovision.
It was on Anthony Fantano's best EPs of last year. So
exactly, but that never happened, and it's like, and it's not undeserved. It's not like the culture has changed of like the world, but Eurovision has kind of changed. The other side of this that is like, I don't want to talk about the money thing. Well, actually, no, sorry. Let's talk about what the EBU's counter strategy to this was, because they definitely have one. I put it into the newsletter.
Make a second Israel.
Make a second Israel. Israel actually gets 3 entries now. Their counter strategy, I talked about it in the newsletter a while back, but there was this thing where Canada had their budget, because they do their yearly budget, right? And everyone knows this interesting detail with the state broadcaster in Canada being like, hey, you kind of have like one sentence in here where the state broadcaster of Canada, forgotten its name, doesn't matter, says it's going to pursue joining Eurovision. Which is like nuts, right? So people are like, oh yeah, but like Australia's in it. It was like, yeah, but Australia at least broadcasted the show before joining.
I think Australia, I know that this would never happen, but just simply because their name, and if Israel is still participating, they should send Infant Annihilator.
There you go. But yeah, so like Canada had in his budget that it wants to join Eurovision. There's also this thing going around that Kazakhstan's finally going to be let in. They've wanted to join for fucking decades. I know.
We're really just like scraping the bottom of the bucket at this point.
Really are, yeah. And then like there's also this like the EBU's gone on this charm offensive of trying to get back all the your cat's going wild in the background.
Yeah, she's gonna jump on my printer. Yeah, she's gonna. She did this earlier today, and she printed out like a test sheet. I was so upset because I have no ink left in my printer.
You know how I know I don't have any ink? Because there's none on this test sheet. Sorry, what was I saying?
So they're scraping the bottom of the bucket. Yeah.
Yeah, they're scraping the bottom of the bucket, trying to get a bunch of new countries in. Canada is not like Australia. Australia liked the competition before it joined and like proved itself. Canada does not watch the competition. Then I think Kazakhstan should be in it. I think that'd be fun. They want it. But like the other thing they're doing is they're trying to do this charm offensive to bring back a bunch of the countries that they've been quietly losing over the last couple of years because it costs too much. These countries are countries like Romania, Bulgaria, Macedonia, Montenegro, right? Like they're mostly like Eastern European, Balkan kind of countries. Technically Hungary and Slovakia and are two countries that have also kind of like dipped because they
Hungary said it's gay.
Yeah, Hungary it's because it's gay, but like Slovakia was like, oh, we can't afford it.
And it's gay.
And like now they're probably And then there's like Bosnia Herzegovina has also like wanted to come back, but it's too expensive. So they're doing this charm offensive to try to bring these countries back. But because they've lost this source of revenue, namely from like the four countries that have like boycotted are like wealthy countries that are all contributors. Like not Ireland and Slovenia are major contributors, but they are contributors. And it's like the price has just gone up for participating. So like Montenegro was one of the countries that was like backing the vote against expelling Israel. And so I don't think they're going to be coming back. Macedonian media is like talking about it of like, hey, we might be able to afford coming back. They've already like started their national selection process, but like, they're like, I don't think we can afford to come back now. So it's just like, you're right. It's going to build up into this absolute disaster. Countries like Finland and Portugal, who've already had like relatively rebellious artists and populations. He's just printing. He just loves printing. Oh, test sheet. Yay.
An empty test sheet. I have no ink, like I said.
Great.
I'm leaving that in.
Yeah, leave it in. Absolutely. Finland and Portugal, who have now both stated they're going to take part in 2026, have got like such rebellious populations that I think it'd be like a serious problem.
Oh yeah, and that's going to come out in the sense of who's going to then end up like performing. You know, like you're going to find the like one Portuguese Zionist who's like stoked on it.
So people have pointed out that Portugal just changed their rules about their like national selection, that they do the thing that a bunch of other countries do, which is you don't win going to the Eurovision, you win something called first right of refusal, which is like,
that's cool.
I know, right? It's kind of a cool name, right? But it basically means like you're allowed to say yes or no to going to Eurovision. You're the first person we'll ask, basically, but you can say no. This is something the Italians have always done, for example, because they have the whole thing of like, our national selection isn't a national selection. Sanremo is older than Eurovision, et cetera, et cetera.
Then you know what they should do is that then they're just like, like a bunch of people should then like go for it get it and then just be like, nah. And then just have like a...
I mean, like 2024, the first year we did Eurovision, like the first year we did Eurovision as the boycott friendly show. That was like a disaster year. That was the whole like Joost Klein gets dropped out last second. There's that rehearsal thing where like no one wants to sing anymore and a bunch of countries are threatening to leave, blah, blah, blah. This year is going to be a bigger, like 2026 is going to be a bigger fucking disaster. Like assuming shit doesn't start breaking down during like the national selection period, it's going to break down when it actually goes to like the show. Like a bunch of musicians are just like possibly not going to sing. A bunch of musicians are not going to go. I think it's going to be worse now that like 4 countries have actually pulled out, and it's just going to be a bunch of Finnish musicians and artists being like, well, they've carved the path for us. Why aren't we doing this as well? Yeah. So it's going to be a fucking disaster. Although I think okay.
What I think would be really funny, like really funny, is that then, because then there is like the internal, like the big countries that then obviously aren't going to then have a problem with Israel, of like Germany and France and whatnot. But it would be very funny if then the German nominee is just then like actually surprisingly like anti-Zionist, because that like could happen, like just like statistically speaking. I know that then as well too, the guy with the elephant song 2 years ago. Yeah, you know what I mean.
I do.
If I'm not mistaken, he like quietly kind of came out saying that he was uncomfortable with Israel being in the competition, which for like as a German guy is kind of saying a lot on the back of the on the back of who is it? Is it ARD that does it for Germany?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, there is like the thing too. But I think it would be very interesting to see then like the bigger players kind of have these what moments could then come from France has a huge population of people who fucking hate Israel, if not the majority of the country, and while it is a sense that they may participate, it's like the likelihood of them getting, first off, a lot of France's artists recently have they've been trying to do the thing of like, oh, we're multicultural and we have all these people that then are like, maybe not ethnically French but are French. They're not gonna do fucking Eurovision. Like, if they do, like, I can guarantee like them, doing remember like the press conferences from 2024, right? Where like whenever like Israel was being asked questions, people would like interrupt her, or like, Greece's entry, Marina Santi would like, make like bored faces whenever she was like talking and be like really over dramatic of that, then how she like fucking hated Israel. And one
thing about that is apparently she was, because the whole thing was like her falling asleep. And the whole thing was apparently originally she was doing that because she was tired, because she was just off the back of like performing. Yeah. And then because the Israelis just got so angry at her, she was just like, actually, no, fuck it, I'm doubling down.
Well, that was because then she like the Israeli delegation hated her. Then when she did in 2025 during the voting of Eurovision, she then came on and like sang a big, diddly with all the like, recent, like Eurovision stars. Like I think that even what's his name, Kalia was like also did a song.
Oh, Karia,
yeah.
Yeah.
And like during her performance, one of the people from the Israeli delegation tweets a picture of earplugs, being like, oh, I have to put these in when Marina Santi is performing. And then she claps back and is like, yeah, like, do you do the same for when you bomb children?
Yeah. I like, that it's gonna be so, this has been such a bad move. I think on like the Eurovision's part.
I mean, we got rid of Belarus for something way dumber.
Oh, absolutely. We got rid of Belarus for all the shit Israel's been doing. Like,
sorry, they hate good music like Lukashenko's favorite folk rock band, okay?
About how those protesters deserve to get bludgeoned. I love this calming folk song.
Israel's gonna like release a song called like Magic Carpet, and it's gonna be about carpet bombing Gaza or something like that. Like it's gonna be that level of absurdity.
Oh, come on. I would love that. Like, I mean, this is the thing. Like,
I would hate it. What you sicko?
No, because I imagine as soon as you said magic carpet, they're going to do what Azerbaijan used to do, where they do like the fake Orientalism kind of.
Israel
like,
always does the fake Israel's. It's like like you have to remember. We have to talk about why
the last 2 years have been very like virginal woman singing directly at camera. Kind of
They're not doing Azerbaijan is really leaning into their. I mean, they are a Turkic country. It's not really Orientalism, but they're really leaning into the fact of like, ooh, we're different.
Yeah. Yeah, when they're a Turkic country, they're allowed to talk about Egyptian gods.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that entry. Oh, my God, that ripped. But the thing is, too, is that then the reason, like, because remember, Israel sucks at every other national event. Like, international event. Israel, for a country being so chock full of machismo, sucks at sports. Like, they're terrible at international sports. They're never going to fucking win anything.
No, this is their thing.
This is, the funniest, in order to show that they're the best, most masculine country, they have to be number one at being gay. And it's just like, it is like, part of me wants to just be like, fucking have your stupid competition, all right? Like, this is, Eurovision's such a, like if this is the hill that you want to die on, then fucking fine. You know, like, a part of me is like, if this is what makes you feel good and feel good about yourself, that you can win the gayest competition on earth, then fucking do it. Explain that then to your country, that then is one of the most homophobic places on earth, that this is like cool and like fucking, we're, showing it to Europe by just either I mean, they love doing the pink washing shit, but it's like it's so much to a point of like, it's like you care so much about a competition that like every other country just doesn't. Like, sure, they care about it to the point that then it's fun, but like Israel, like is like, we need to win this in order to show that we are the champions of Western civilization, and that then Western civilization backs us. And it's like, then fine. Like, win 1 year, and please explain how we're going to do the fucking, what is it that one, like, oh, see you in Jerusalem, where, what's that dumb fucking.
Next time they win, they're going to
do it in. Okay. Yeah, they're going to do it in fucking, like, Trump Gaza City thing or whatever. Like, it's just like, there's nothing that then is. And then, like, then comes the question of that, then you'll have, like, actually in this, probably Israel can win, because they're just going to, again, there's less countries. With the countries that then aren't participating aren't going to be able to vote, correct? Like Spain does not have a vote then on the national level.
They're not broadcasting it.
Yeah. So it's like you're going to have all these other countries that then Israel can like very easily just fake the vote in, as they have done the last few years, where they have almost won both times. And great, we're going to have fucking, and then we have to explain to then, we're going to have this weird Eurovision clip of like, oh, actually, Eurovision's about peace and love and this and that and that, while we're doing it on like an open grave site.
If Israel wins, that is 100% the death of the competition, and I can't think of a better deserving bunch of people for this to happen to. Like, so when Israel almost won last year, because basically I didn't watch these two shows, so forgive me if I'm getting these details wrong. But in 2024, it took a long time for someone to beat their televote, but someone did beat their televote, right? So they got like fourth. In 2025, they got on paper the highest televote, and JJ's Wasted Love, Austria's entry, only won because it was the jury favorite, and it got a decent show.
I love the EBU's Electoral College.
Yeah, right. And when that happened, Graham Norton, the commentator for the British broadcast of the competition, as soon as like JJ won, and like, a little bit of pause, and then the commentator comes back in, and he just goes, the EBU sighing a sigh of relief there. Yeah, because you don't like you cannot explain how you're going to be doing a fucking. No, like it's gonna be in the yellow zone. It's gonna be in the part of like Gaza they've annexed, basically.
Yeah.
They're gonna put it in the fucking Golan Heights.
Yeah, they're like, hey, Syria's ours. Watch, no, knowing Israel, they're gonna have like a military operation to like make room for Eurovision.
Yeah, like they just like take more Syrian territory, and suddenly everyone is, and then it's acceptable amongst the liberal establishment to recognize that Al-Jalani is Al Qaeda.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, wait a minute. Yeah. It's so fucking yeah. So I think I was you're absolutely right, because I was talking to Irish Tom of Lions Led by Donkeys this morning about, because he was like he was struggling to understand why the European Broadcasting Union is so like white knuckle committed to Israel taking part. And then I kind of put it back to him of just like something I've always said, which is Eurovision is to Israel what rugby was to apartheid South Africa. The problem being is that other countries cared about rugby. So there was this issue where everyone is like Eurovision fan, like I don't want to say fans, okay, because there's Eurovision fans and there are people like me and the people on the blogs and all that kind of stuff, and they are very committed. But realistically, most Eurovision viewers are incredibly casual. The thing I always think about is like, so there's the whole stat of like Eurovision is more watched than the Super Bowl, right? And everyone's like, oh, and it's a great way to explain, especially to Americans, like imagine a burger, and it's more watched than your burger. It's like, and it's, you know, everyone brings out that line when they're trying to explain Eurovision to people who didn't grow up with it. But then I would always come back with like explaining something unique about the Eurovision audience, which is if you were to like teleport me, time travel me, some Doctor Who bullshit, and drop me into any American city the week of a Super Bowl, I would know the Super Bowl is about to happen. There would be like a bunch of like advertisement brand tie-ins of like, make sure to get these wings when you're watching the whatever.
The big game.
Match. The big game. Yeah, exactly. So like I would like, if you drop me into Cincinnati, Detroit, Memphis, whatever, during Super Bowl week, I would know it was Super Bowl week.
Oh yeah, it is. Being from a city that then has hosted the Super Bowl far too many times in my lifetime. It's horrible when your city is also hosting the event.
Well, that's the thing though. If you drop me into any European city except for the host city,
putting you in Malmo,
no one would fucking like. You wouldn't know. And like Eurovision audience is so incredibly casual that the other thing I'm thinking about is like these countries aren't coming back. Like Spain, Netherlands, Slovenia, and Ireland, 1 year without the Eurovision, we're just going to stop caring. Like the vast majority of people are going to stop caring. In the same way that like the average Turk doesn't really care that they're no longer a part of Eurovision. There are still Turkish Eurovision super fans, but like they've been out of the competition so long. Even by the first year, it was just no longer a thing. Like, no one cared. Because the audience has always been so casual. It's always been watched because, it's on.
Yeah. And I mean, that is every time that then I've watched Eurovision, aside from then us putting the events on.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun bit of thing to just be on, but that's it. That's really beyond. That's where the feelings kind of like end. And I think countries get removed from this competition for any period of time, and it just stops. And that's kind of like, and then it's over, right? Then we're done. Hey, nice to know you. But like the Dutch are pissed. They're like, we're founding fucking member. And they're like, the statements from them have just been like, this is stupid. Fuck this. Spain is fully just going the Italy route where like their national selection contest, Benidorm, is just like, actually, that's its own competition. We're still hosting that. The winner gets nothing, but it'll be a fun show. So I don't know. We're all just gonna. I'm gonna get into Pan-Arctic vision. But did you see that?
No,
I discovered that.
What the hell's Pan-Arctic vision?
Over the break, I discovered that for the past 3 years, there's been a Eurovision alternative for peoples that are in the Arctic Circle.
Hell yeah, that sounds cool. Are they ever going to bring back Turkvision?
No.
That was so good.
After Russia shot down that, after Turkey accidentally shot down that Russia jet
half
came back.
Half of the groups can't compete anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
No, Pan-Arctic Vision was weird. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. It was hosted in Nunavut, Northern Canada, this year, and Alaska takes part.
Cool.
And then they even did like a joke video of just like the regions, I can't remember, like Yakutsia in Far East Russia takes part. Nunavut in Canada takes part. Alaska takes part. And then like specifically Northern Finland, Northern Norway, and Northern Sweden take part. Like you have to be kind of like from the Sami cultures basically that are up there. And they have even like a joke like video introducing Pan-Arctic Vision as like, what about Denmark? And they're like, Denmark can fuck off.
I mean, that's always my opinion on Denmark.
Yeah,
so
right?
I'm consider me Pan-Arctic Vision's newest fan.
Yeah,
solely
right.
on their policies, their Denmark policies.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious of what we're gonna do for Eurovision. I suggested in the group chat a talent show.
I mean, I'm kind of I am yeah, what are we going to do? So, it really depends. My prediction is that Eurovision 2026 will happen.
Well, yeah, of course it's going to happen.
But it's going to be like bad. It's going to fuck up so bad. So yeah, like we could totally, I would love to make the intro video for Kazakhstan. But like, yeah,
it's
is it just
Russian
like
rockets?
Yeah, just like a nuclear test in the like Almaty Desert or whatever. There's some good like Instagram reels of like actual Kazakh people being shown the opening scene from Borat, and they're just like, what? That's good content. Yeah, talent show. Let's do a talent show where every so often you cut to me being like, hey, this fucked up thing happened to the actual Eurovision.
Yeah, you have the because you're not watching it, so you just have like the text like
yeah, no,
updates.
I have my like, yeah, I've got like a rig, like someone who trades, like, who like works in Wall Street. I've just got like
yeah, you have a Bloomberg
monitors.
terminal, but it's just giving you
Eurovision
just play by plays.
Let me just boot up my gay Bloomberg terminal. I love it so much. How dare you? God, I'd love that. Just like real time tracking of like how each act is performing and just like buy Albania, sell Croatia. That'd be great.
I do love how last year, was it Phil who really loved the Albania's entry?
Albanian. Yeah.
I love that. Like, it was so great. It was his number one.
Yeah. There was I wonder if I can send that to you. Apparently there's a routine segment on a Albanian kind of like news talk show type thing, like in the morning, where they bring on they basically just bring on a type of guy.
A type of Albanian guy.
Like a type of Albanian guy, and get the regular like hosts to kind of just like talk about it. And like, yeah, let me just copy a link to this. Because they recently were just having this conversation with like a goth girl about like goths existing. I'm gonna send it to you, my good friend Nick. Yeah, there we go. I just wanted you to see the picture because let me know when you've seen that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because then someone then commented being like, I loved them in Eurovision last year. Because that is what the Albanian Eurovision act looked like. It was just those two people.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Albanian television. Amazing.
Oh god.
So
anyway,
well, Eurovision is dead. Long live Eurovision. Well, I guess not really, but what else we got on the menu for tonight, Ciarán?
What else do I have on the menu? We could talk about some stuff that has been going on since since we've been since we have been gone. Let me just take a look at what we've been talking about. Oh, actually, here's an easy one that we can probably talk about is like Mertz's like weird culture war stuff that he's trying to get off the ground. Because like you wrote about the Brazil is ugly, Germany is beautiful thing, which is a nuts thing to say.
Yeah, it's like weird, like because I mean, I mentioned I had Ben on to talk about the like Staatsbild thing.
Yeah,
and it's been like, I mean that was a very, I mean it's been a thing that then the CDU has kind of been doing for a while, right? Of this whole thing of, you know, they are kind of leaning more into the scare tactic, right wing sort of stuff of like, ooh, you know, the problems of the inner cities are these, you know, non-German people and stuff like that. But it is very funny that then when Friedrich Merz does come back, like it kind of all comes full circle to me when then I realize like, oh no, this man does deserve all of this. Like Friedrich Merz deserves to have a wife who hates him and to like live in like, I don't know, the grayest country on earth when he thinks that this is like the pinnacle of civilization. Like,
yeah,
you come back from Brazil, which is just an objectively more pretty and interesting place than here, and be like, God, I fucking hated it. Everyone on the plane who was with me fucking hated it as well. It's like, I doubt that. Like Germans, like there is a certain type of German that you know that goes to Brazil and then just becomes a person who wears flip-flops everywhere. Like there is a disgusting level of German Orientalism about the rest of the world where they just like they don't want to be German anymore, you know? But if the fact that then Friedrich Merz can go to one of these places and does not become the flip-flop guy when he comes back is like, well, then he's perfect. He is perfect in the country that he is in. He is living his perfect miserable life as like, I don't know, a former banker who then ended up in the CDU. Like, fucking shoot me. Like, he's living his own dream, and that's sad. Like, that's really, at the end of the day, it's like, if that's your goal in life of like, wow, I want to I live here because it's better than the place that I come from. But if it's like, it's not because it's like particularly pretty or that it's, you know, that the people are warm and friendly and that the food's tasty.
It's famously not very pretty. I mean, like
the South is. That's about it. That's like the one part of the country that then is like also you share with 4 other countries. It's not even yours.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, oh boy, Brandenburg. I love flat.
Brown grass.
Brown grass everywhere. Like, I mean, it's not like Germany's not like ugly. It's not like, you know, it's not like, I mean, it's the next step up from like, I don't know, like everything legitimately being gray. But
yeah, but like, I think it's just like, for me, so it was this and the bread comment.
Ooh, psycho. The German bread stuff is psychotic as well, yeah.
Yeah. But like, it was those two comments together because it was like, okay, yeah, the Brazil comment is kind of weird, but when you do the bread comment, it's like, okay, you're trying something. Like, this is you like trying. This is you thinking you know how to relate to like AfD voters. Like, I kind of get that impression because like,
yeah, I mean, AfD people would also probably agree this is the prettiest place on earth, and they're fucking weird. And they're Nazis,
yeah.
So I don't trust their opinion.
But would they? Because I feel like a lot of Germans are very kind of like the impression I got from Germans. Not to say they were CDU or AfD, but like even if they liked Germany, it was still like, oh yeah, but places like Brazil have like nicer beaches.
Yeah, I mean, they all go to fucking Spain.
Yeah, exactly. Like you know.
Okay, you know what? You know what? The only place that's worse than Germany is the UK. That is a place that is gray everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty miserable.
But remember when I first came to visit you in Ireland and I hilariously said, wow, it actually is green here, you know? Like it really, like the Irish weren't fucking lying. Ireland was significantly prettier than Germany was, and it's not that it's like much different, you know? It's just it's a better version of green.
It's just the like I think it's just the kind of like it's just a little too much, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like you're trying a little too hard. It's like I get the same impression when he talks about this stuff. I get the same impression as like, I don't know, when you're like like your dad walks into the sleepover and is trying to pretend that he's into the same bands as you are or whatever, like that you and your friends are into. Like, I really love this Marshall Mathers. It seems great.
Yeah, what are you? You're having a kids having a fucking sleepover in 1996? What the fuck are you doing, Ciarán? No, but like the thing that then's always just very funny to me of like, and I think I said something on Instagram about this, of like it's very telling of like, you know, because you know the story of like the Mormons and whatnot, right? Of like how when they went to, so when they went from like St. Louis and all this stuff, and they went, you know, down into like the part of the country that then I am from. And a lot of them like lost their minds because they couldn't comprehend how pretty it was. Like they like legitimately thought that they were like, you know, that this was like, you know, God touching the earth. And that's why like all these like national parks and like in Utah, for example, have all these names like Zion and shit like that, because they're like, the Mormons were so obsessed with like exploring through all of that. Yes, we can make a discussion at a different time about like who the true, you know, the people who were there first, obviously, you know, that whole thing. But yeah, so when white European settlers came like westward into like the American Southwest, they just went fucking insane. Like it was too much for them to comprehend, and they just like went crazy. Or like in the sense too that they couldn't like accept the vastness of it either. You know, like you have then examples of like the Donner Party who like think that they can just traverse over these mountains and are unaware of just the brutality of God himself when it comes to like winter in these very mountain areas. So it is like very like European on his sense that then I'm glad that then Friedrich Merz like can exist in that realm, that then that like his brain can't comprehend true beauty because it would drive him insane. So he can have it, you know? And maybe that's like a certain type of German. The thing that I miss the most about being where I'm from is how pretty it is, you know, and it is like a thing that then is incomparable to Germans. Even when I like talk to Germans, they're like, oh, like I'm from Arizona, and they're like, oh, like it's really nice and pretty there. I'm like, yes, the people are just insane. That's why I don't live there anymore. And it's way too hot. But you know, it is like this thing of just it is kind of like hilariously within like the European tradition of just it's like, oh, like maybe his brain just can't comprehend what a pretty place is, because if he were to, he thought that then he'd like been like, you know, that God himself is talking to him or something, which I don't want. That I don't want Friedrich Merz to have a psychosis,
to have like a George W. Bush moment.
No, yeah, no, that's a different type of God talking to you sort of thing.
It's an angry, vengeful God.
Yeah, exactly. Not like a psychosis. Oh God, Friedrich Merz psychosis. That's the name of my grindcore band.
Yeah. We got a track featuring Bart DeWeaver.
What else did we miss in like the last like 5 or 10 minutes that we were gonna be balling on here?
Ooh, yeah. Good thing that we missed. Oh, like that Italian journalist is getting fired.
Oh yeah,
that was fucking rough. In the context of like everything we've discussed in the main and earlier this episode, it's real bad that like, okay, so an Italian journalist, in the context of like kind of highlighting maybe how delusional Europe was about the how the invasion of Ukraine was going to like end. They just kept talking about the point of like, they kept hammering home the point of Russia should pay for the damage it did. I was like, yeah, that'd be nice. Especially if it was done like, you know, directly by the Russian state rather than just like seizing a bunch of weird assets. But Italian journalist then pitches the question of like, hey, you keep saying this, should Israel pay for the destruction they've done in Gaza? To which there was some waffling answer afterwards, but then like he was just let go from his agency, basically. So yeah, that happened, and that's kind of fucked. And I feel that like goes along with the time that someone yelled at Ursula von der Leyen about Gaza, and she was like, "Oh, in Russia, you'd be arrested."
Yeah.
They were arrested.
One of her finest moments, while someone then being arrested for saying that. Like,
yeah. This is for anyone who missed this. The Italian journalist we're talking about now is a Gabriele Nunziati, and yeah, he was let go by his news agency after talking about this, which is not great. But this is this is freedom of press.
Yeah, this is the Europe that we live in, baby. This is also
very free.
I love the fact of Germany also stripping people of their citizenship for like posting a questionable whatever Facebook or Twitter post or something like that. That's normal, right? Yeah, that's not.
Yeah,
I mean, it is this like weird thing, right? I guess just kind of on this note to end of, it's like, because there's always like this like weird discussion that I see all the time of like, oh, we're not in fascism, oh, we're in fascism, oh, like will they, won't they? And it is kind of just like, I think the thing that we've just like hammered on about since like the existence of the show is that it's like Europe doesn't need old version of fascism. We don't need to be talking about fascism in those old ways, because that's like it's been shown that we can exist on like a transnational version of like securing Europe, and that's what currently we're in. And it really like I think that I mean, like, one of the things that then is like mainly challenged this point has been, of course, like, Gaza, particularly, of the sense of that then, like Europe does believe that, and I don't mean Europe as like I mean like in the state structures of Europe and a lot of the countries and Germany and whatnot, they do believe the position that then like the AfD holds, that then Israel is like preventing Islamic extremism or something like that. Like they buy, like Europe as a whole not only buys into Israel just because it's like this ethno state that they feel bad about their sins of the past, but they buy into like a lot of the stuff that then Israel tells them of why they're doing the psychotic and fucking frankly evil shit that they're doing. And like, that is a Nazi talking point, like it isn't like we don't need a Hitler or Mussolini 2.0 if Europe can kind of exist in this thing of like, oh, well, you can like have your fun and games here while then like we're exporting all the evil shit, or we're doing stuff like, these agreements with Turkey so that they don't send migrants and whatnot and this and that, and that we don't, or we do these things of like, the UK like a couple of weeks ago saying that they're going to start confiscating things from refugees and whatnot, or
after copying
it from the Danish. Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you're going to be looking for then like a specific party or a movement who then is like there goose stepping, throwing out Heil Hitlers, you're never going to find it, like we're Europe has evolved past that. And it's like the fact that then that like liberalism in its current form has like been trudging along. So like as this end of history model, it doesn't know anything else other than the sense that then it's like times are worsening. We're just going to keep delving more into the fascistic parts of capitalism that then is going to keep us afloat. Because it's like, again, like fascism is capitalism in crisis, right? Like that's the like Marxist idea of it, right? We're sure as fucking crisis. And a lot of the European countries, the United States is definitely like the Jerusalem upon the hill for them, of like resorting to further right-wing politics while never even really needing to have a far right-wing government, is what's been happening the entire time we've been doing this show. The censorship stuff isn't seen, of course, as censorship. It's like, oh, well, like that there's always a way around it, right? It's like the sense too of like, especially living in this country, of like how Germany goes about their sense of dealing with people that are involved within like the Palestine movement. It's like, oh, well, terrorism. It's like, well, who makes that same fucking argument is Erdogan all the time. So it's like, congratulations, you're doing the exact, like all these dictators, quote unquote, that you claim to be that we're not like, you just use their exact same thing. Oh, well, this speaker, we can't have them because terrorism. Oh, this person, we can't have them because, other version of terrorism, or
Kurdish,
brackets terrorist, or Sally Rooney's book might get you fucking thrown in jail now because she said that she's going to donate the profits from the UK to Palestine Action. Yeah, cool. That's normal, right? Like we don't live like we need to. I don't know. Like we need to get out of this idea that like we're searching for a fascism that never exists. We're like we're in it and not in it at the same time. This is just how Europe is, and it will like continue to trudge on, getting worse. Yeah. If that means actual fascism, I don't know, but I don't need it to get there either.
Well, there's someone I found it very hilarious. The whole like Zoran Mondani meeting with Trump and the whole like, Trump is just enamored with him because he's got a nice smile and wears a suit. But then like, all the journalists trying to do the gotcha questions to Zoran.
Oh God, yeah, that was so funny.
And Trump just like dismisses them all. It's like, you still think he's a fascist? Well, like,
you can say
like Trump's like, just say yes. It's easier. And it's just so funny that I saw someone like from like academic kind of left Twitter just kind of quote that being like, there goes like a year of debate.
Yeah, we don't need to we don't need to have these academic discussions of what is fascism anymore. Like the fact of the matter is that then one, the country that then is exporting the most fascism internationally since the end of World War II has been the United States, and they've just like doubled down on that we are this. JD Vance is a Nazi. Pete Hegseth is a Nazi. Donald Trump is fucking there, whether he's physically there, maybe not mentally there, but he's just like from top down, this administration has Nazis in it, people who are proud to call themselves Nazis, and they're exporting that to Europe. Europe is totally fine with it. It's not like that then that like I think you don't see any of the conservative governments who are in power in Europe distancing themselves from the US's rhetoric. They're like doubling down on it, being like, "Oh, the US is doing this, we should do this as well."
Or like the only objection is that it is American. That's it.
Like, yeah, it's
like
not
French far right.
Yeah. Oh, that is fascism. I don't know what the word for American.
Sparkling fascism.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Sparkling fascism. Yeah.
Yeah. I always liked the explanation of like reaching for the mystical fascism when possibly we're already there. I liked that someone kind of explained one of the reasons of like why fascism is so popular, especially when like particularly young men get like disenfranchised.
Because men are
like,
stupid, all right? First off. That's the first one. Men are dumb.
Someone kind of yeah. So one of them kind of made the point of like, because it died was like one of the reasons why it was so romantic is like, well, we're kind of living in capitalism, and like, communism had this kind of like the Soviet Union, and that kind of like fizzled away kind of thing. There's this kind of like, you lose a allure there. But then it was just like, yeah, I guess a lot of people kind of treat fascism like Princess Diana, of just like, if that woman had grown old, she would have definitely said some shit, and people would like, but she dies young, so you're kind of allowed to project onto it whatever you wanted. So, God, it's upsetting.
Welcome back, baby.
Welcome back. Peter Thiel, also a fascist.
Oh my God! Yeah. How did I forget him?
He's definitely more involved in Trump too than. That was one of the more interesting theories about like Trump liking Zoran was Trump was annoyed because the theory goes that like Thiel's donation is what saddled Trump with JD Vance, and he just like hates JD Vance now and finds him annoying that he just like did something to piss them both off. Which I like that theory. It's kind of cute. But yeah. Anyway, that's the end of the bonus episode. We're back. We're gonna have guests. We're gonna do all the good stuff. We're gonna talk about Europe and it's falling apart and it's great. And we got a newsletter. Go check out the newsletter. We got t-shirts. Go check out the t-shirts. We're on Patreon. You're on Patreon if you're listening to this episode, or you're pirating it. That's fine. Nick's dancing this whole time. I'm playing Trap Queen in my head. That's all that.
Hell yeah,
it's great. I'm getting so many
Fetty
Instagram
Wap is
reels.
still in prison, by the way. I learned that recently.
I just get
on like
so
a RICO
many reels
case too, if I'm not mistaken.
I get so many reels on Instagram of just like clips from Yu-Gi-Oh movies with that song put to it.
Yeah, that's combining you and me into one entity, which is like, your feed apparently.
It's Kaiba time traveling back so he can fight in Duel Monsters, the original Pharaoh. This is like 1738.
1738.
Oh, beautiful.
I don't fucking know the words of that song.
I have such a.
She my Sparkle Queen.
God bless. All right, well, With that, we will catch you on the main feed. Ciao, ciao.
Take care. Bye bye.